Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. And listen, I'm oftentimes on the hunt for the newest, the latest, the greatest thing when it comes to multi-tools, knives, anything that's going to be a solution for a problem that I currently have. Now, my first experience in the world of EDC directly came from Gerber. It came from Gerber with their multi-tool, the MP600. I picked up this when I was in the Marine Corps still, a very capable multi-tool. You know, it's really was designed for those folks who need to like diffuse C4 and all that type of stuff, but it really worked well in a lot of applications to the point where I carry this thing all the time. I actually own about 4 or 5 of these things and I keep them all over the place just in case I need to use one. And that led me to my first experience with Gerber when it came to the world of the EDC knife. And, you know, I got this Tanto style, fully assisted knife here. And Tanto style blade has a serrated, partially serrated edge. And I've really enjoyed this S30V made in America, both of these tools made in America. And I got my first experience with both of these back in 2007. So I grew to know Gerber and their capabilities. And so that has led me to explore Gerber lately and the things that they're capable of. And at first led me to the Gerber lockdown drive. Now, the Gerber lockdown drive was not very impressive. Actually, I saw it to be quite dangerous. I'll link a video that I did for this down below. This thing is not really a great one-hand opening type of multi-tool. It is sleek, and you know, I haven't been able to recommend this to people, but if you want something with a small footprint, this might be something that you might want to pick up. I saw their Gerber stakeout tool, and that thing looked pretty impressive as well. It has a little, you know, a little carabiner so you can hook it to your belt. It has a little stake puller, so when you're camping, you can just easily rip stakes out the ground and pull them easily without trying to figure out like exactly how am I going to get a grip on that. But the saw, the blade, they're kind of lackluster, and it obviously doesn't have a pair of pliers on it. Now, my biggest complaint when it came to the MP600 and basically every Leatherman multi-tool that I own is that they're not really true traditional adjustable pliers in the sense where they're wide locking teeth. Well, Gerber comes out with the Dual Force. When they dropped the Gerber Dual Force, I got immediately excited. I saw some YouTube videos about it and I tried to go out and grab it, and it was unavailable until now. And I'm kind of glad I waited to grab it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. But first, I'm the type of person that tries to motivate people when it comes to EDC, their man caves, prep, survival. If you like that type of stuff, hit the subscribe button below. We would love to have you a part of the battalion. So let's jump right into this tool to see if there's something that you might be interested in picking up or if there's something that might be a hard pass. Now, we jump right into this thing and we talk about price. This thing is $110. I want you to keep that in mind as we talk about the features and the value of this tool. It comes in at 12 ounces. And it includes 12 tools. So at the very top of the tool, you see some blunt nose pliers that immediately leads into like a small fastener right here in the next part of the pliers themselves. Then you have more large fasteners, kind of robust pliers, which I really liked a lot. It does have a 2-position slip joint jaw right here. So right here, you can actually pull the pliers to a secondary position, which allows the actual blunt nose pliers to fully close, or you can move it to this other position, which leaves a gap, which allows for you to grab larger fasteners. You also have some wire cutters and strippers in here, which are included at the very bottom of the tool. You can access every tool on this thing, minus the pliers, of course, while the tool is closed. So we can come here. You can actually access the center access drive bit holder here, and you can drive bits like a real screwdriver. In here I have loaded up a T20 bit. It has extra bit storage down here at the bottom, so I have a Phillips and a slotted bits just in case I need those. Easily can load those up. This uses standard bits, so if you already own bits, you can load this up. Obviously, you see this is silver. These are some bits I already own, so that's nice. Every single tool has a liner lock, so you can keep it locked out. Not sure it's going to slip on you while you're using it, which is nice. So pretty sturdy in that regard. You push the little liner lock to disengage the tool itself. It also has a 2.5-inch plain edge blade. Now this blade itself, nothing to write home to mom about, but hey, once again, if you don't have a knife on you, or if you don't want to carry a knife and, you know, carry multiple things in one day. You can just keep this with you and just rock out with the knife instead of carrying multiple tools. Of course, it includes a ruler. The ruler only can be used while the tool is open, but it does include a ruler on both sides, centimeters and inches. It includes a saw. I haven't used a saw, but if you're in a pinch and you need to cut some smaller, less than 2-inch branches or timber or anything like that, you do have a saw which you can use. Now on the file is kind of two tools in one. There's a chisel edge, which you can't hammer this thing, right? You can't bang this tool with a hammer, but there is a chisel edge if you want to use it. Then you have the entire fine/coarse file itself. So depending on what side you need, you have a fine side, you have a coarse side for the saw. So on face value, it does look pretty good. Now, first off, if you're getting good value out of this video, make sure you hit that like button. It lets YouTube know that they should be sharing this with other people. Now, as we continue, some things that I like about this multi-tool. First of all, it has incredibly strong jaws. I've had to use these things on several occasions to remove fasteners, to hold a workpiece, and I have just a lot of confidence when it comes to the jaws themselves, especially even the little blunt nose pliers at the very, very end. All these teeth, these things come in handy. The bit driver acts like a real screwdriver. In no shade to Leatherman's proprietary bit system, but this is a way better system when it comes to driving bits than Leatherman. You know, and they really keep it that way that you're forced to buy their bits and continue to use their bits. So when you have this fully locked out, this acts like a real screwdriver. So you can really drive in fasteners, remove fasteners, but they have a great warranty. I've already had to get one of these replaced because I used a pair of these to do some banging of some pool equipment that needed a little bit of tough love. And I got this thing replaced, no questions asked. So the pouch can actually be worn horizontally. So if you want to wear it horizontally, or you can wear it vertically. So two different options to wear this pouch, which comes in handy as well. Now, what are some cons that I don't like about this multi-tool? It does not include a pair of scissors. I think that me personally, I would be okay with dropping the file. I don't ever use a file with my tools. Dropping the file, dropping the chisel, and adding a pair of scissors. You know, I know a lot of folks might prefer to keep the file, but I would be okay with dropping that. It doesn't include a strap cutter. Now, these multi-tools give me keeping your vehicle vibes. They're too big to keep in your pocket. So it only kind of makes sense to keep this in a toolbox, to keep this in your vehicle. And if you are going to keep it in your vehicle, I wouldn't mind having a strap cutter or something similar to that nature. There is no pocket clip, speaking of keeping in a vehicle or in a toolbox. So if you did want to carry this directly on your person, there's no pocket clip. There's nowhere to even put a pocket clip. You know, obviously, if you look at the lockdown drive here, it has a pocket clip, but it's a much smaller multi-tool. It would be nice if the pliers themselves had some type of locking features. Now, these are some vice grips. Obviously, these are the staple when it comes to locking features, but I don't own a Leatherman Crunch, but these look similar to the Leatherman Crunch. And I know that if I had the locking feature, to be a lot easier to hold on to a workpiece. So I wish I kind of had that as well. And at the end of the day, these feel really cheap. Like, these are Chinese made Gerber. These multi-tools that I have here are 14 years old. These are American made, and they feel way more durable. They actually feel, you know, it kind of feels like this much smaller multi-tool actually feels like it weighs more than the bigger tool, which is weird. If I weigh the older tool clearly weighs less. It's a smaller tool, but it feels more robust. This one comes in at 234 grams, where the new tool comes in at 335 grams. But even though it's clear that the new tool weighs more, I guess because of the materials they use, like, it feels a lot cheaper than the tool that's from 2007. Now, one thing, their biggest competitor when it comes to the market is the Leatherman Crunch. These aren't Leatherman Crunch, but they look similar to the Leatherman Crunch. Now, although I've been ragging on these a little bit, I still would take the Dual Force over the Leatherman Crunch, just simply because the Leatherman Crunch also doesn't include scissors. Leatherman has their cheesy bit holder, which is the proprietary bits, which I'm not a big fan of. This is a little bit more robust when it comes to stuff like that. I can forego the scissors because, you know, these aren't really a pocketable multi-tool. And I normally use scissors on multi-tools that I keep in my pocket most of the time. So, but one thing I would say is I would not pay full price for these. Wait for a sale, wait for some type of discount code. I've got them for 20% off, and that's what I would do. I wouldn't pay full price for these just because I feel like you can get a value by waiting to catch them on a sale. But what say you? Would you pick up the Gerber Dual Force multi-tools? Is this something that you would be interested in? Also, I do have an extra pair of the Gerber Dual Force that I'm going to be giving away. So the way that you can enter to win this is really, really simple. First of all, you got to enter Battalion on the comments down below. You also need to be a subscriber to this channel. And finally, you need to be following me on Instagram. You do those three things. I'm going to generate randomly from one of the comments down below. I'm going to select you, and you're going to know the winner of these by the first video in June. So make sure that you comment down below Battalion, you're a subscriber to this channel, you follow me on Instagram, you can get your own pair of the Gerber Dual Force. If this is not your first time here, thank you once again for stopping by. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.